Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to lecture number 3 on mouse wide spectroscopy. In this video, we will discuss the difficulties in resonance absorption arising from narrow line width of gamma emission. First of all, let us recapitulate the findings of the previous video, in which we have explained that the energy of gamma ray emitted during the de-excitation of the excited Fe57 nucleus is lower than the energy required for excitation of the ground state Fe57 nucleus. As a result, the condition for the resonance absorption is not fulfilled, and hence it does not take place. The energy of emitted gamma ray during the de-excitation process is 14.4 kilo-electron-volt minus recoil energy. On the other hand, the energy required for the excitation of ground state nucleus is 14.4 kilo-electron-volt plus kinetic energy. The resonance absorption will take place only when the energy of emitted gamma ray is equal to the energy of required gamma ray. But here it is clear that these two energy terms are not equal, and therefore resonance absorption will not take place. Narrow line width of gamma ray emission. If gamma ray emission and absorption lines were infinitely thin, the resonance absorption would not be possible. If the gamma ray emission and absorption lines were infinitely thin, the resonance absorption would not be possible. This is due to the fact that even a slight loss in energy of emitted gamma ray in the form of recoil energy would cause the emission energy to differ from the absorption energy, and no absorption will take place as shown in the following figure. Let us see it again. Even a slight loss in energy of emitted gamma ray in the form of recoil energy would cause the emission energy to differ from the absorption energy, and no absorption will take place as shown in the following figure. In this figure, on the x-axis there is energy, and on the y-axis there is intensity. It is emission line, it is absorption line, which are quite thin. This is transition energy required for the transition between nuclear energy levels. The energy of emission line is ET minus ER. The energy of absorption line is ET plus EKE. It is evident here that these two energy terms are not equal, and therefore the resonance absorption will not take place if the emission line and absorption line are infinitely thin. The significance of terms involved in the above figure are given below. ET, transition energy between the excited state and the ground state of the nucleus. ER, recoil energy of the ground state nucleus obtained after de-excitation. EKE, kinetic energy acquired by the nucleus by absorbing gamma ray. These two terms have been explained in the previous video clearly. ET minus ER, energy of emitted gamma ray during de-excitation. Please note that the energy of emitted gamma ray is lower than the transition energy because the recoil energy is deducted from the transition energy. ET plus EKE, energy of absorbed gamma ray during excitation. Please note that EKE adds to the transition energy. It is obvious that the energy of emitted gamma ray, that is ET minus ER, is lower than the energy required for resonance absorption, that is ET plus EKE. Since these two energy terms don't match with each other, the resonance absorption is not possible. But it is not true. All absorption and emission lines have certain finite theoretical width which can be given by the relationship. Please note it again. All the absorption and emission lines have certain finite theoretical width which can be given by the relationship delta nu equals to 1 by 2 pi delta t per second. The significance of the terms involved in this equation are given below. Delta nu, uncertainty, that is error in the measurement of frequency of the emitted gamma ray. It may also be called line width of gamma ray emission. Delta t, uncertainty in the time of emission of gamma ray. It is equal to the average life period of the source of radiation. Justification of delta nu equals to 1 by 2 pi delta t, where delta nu is the line width of radiation. We know that the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle can be expressed mathematically in terms of energy as follows: uncertainty in energy into uncertainty in time is equal to h by 2 pi. The energy of the electromagnetic radiation is given by E equals to h nu. Therefore, delta E can be written as delta h nu. On moving the constant outside the differentiation, we have delta E equals to h delta nu. From equations 1 and 2, putting the value of delta E from equation 2 in equation 1, we have delta E equals to h delta nu into delta t equals to h by 2 pi. H terms on two sides can be cancelled, and accordingly delta nu equals to 1 by 2 pi delta t. This is the desired expression which has been derived from the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Here, note that delta nu is the line width of radiation. Self-assessment. Now a question will appear before you. Kindly read it carefully. Calculate the line width of gamma ray of frequency 3.5 into 10 to the power 18 per second emitted from excited Fe57 nucleus having a half-life of about 10 to the power minus 7 seconds. Excited Fe57 nucleus, which has a half-life of 10 to the power minus 7 seconds, emits gamma frequency with frequency 3.5 into 10 to the power 18 per second. Then we have to calculate the line width of gamma ray. Please pause the video and try to solve the problem within 5 minutes. Here is the solution of the given problem. We know that the line width of any radiation is given by 1 by 2 pi delta t, or delta nu equals to 1 by 2 into 3.14. The average life period of any species is equal to half-life divided by 0.693. Accordingly, Since the half-life of the source is 10 to the power minus 7 second, this equation can be solved as follows. And the value of delta nu comes to be equal to 10 to the power 6 per second. It appears to be a large value. The line width of the radiation with frequency 3.5 into 10 to the power 18 per second is equal to 10 to the power 6 per second. Now there are two terms, line width and relative line width. First term is natural line width and another term is relative line width. The absolute value of line width is called natural line width. Therefore, natural line width in the above given problem is 10 to the power 6 per second. The line width relative to the frequency of emitted radiation is called relative line width. Therefore, relative line width in the above problem is equal to 10 to the power 6 per second divided by the frequency of the emitted radiation, and it comes equal to 3 into 10 to the power minus 13. The relative line width in the given problem is 3 into 10 to the power minus 13. It can be explained in another way. It is clear that the line width of typical gamma ray emission is about 10 to the power minus 13 times of its frequency, as shown in the previous slide. The relative line width is 3 into 10 to the power minus 13. It is clear that the line width of a typical gamma ray emission is about 10 to the power minus 13 times of its frequency. The recoil energy of a nucleus fixed firmly in a solid crystal is of the order 10 to the power minus 19 electron volt, which is approximately equal to 10 to the power minus 5 per second, is much shorter than the line width 10 to the power 6 per second. We have already seen that the natural line width is 10 to the power 6 per second, and if the nucleus is fixed firmly in a solid crystal lattice, the recoil energy is about 10 to the power minus 19 electron volt, which is approximately equal to 10 to the power minus 5 per second, which is much smaller than the natural line width. The recoil energy is much smaller than the natural line width. Therefore, the emission band and the absorption band superimpose with each other. It may also be explained in another way. The emission band is superimposed on the absorption band, and thus resonance absorption is possible, as shown in the following figure. Please see that the emission line appears in the form of a band, not as a line. Similarly, the absorption line appears in the form of a band, which is called absorption band. The emission band, this is due to line width. The gamma radiation is not infinitely thin. It appears in the form of band due to line width. This is the overlap zone of emission band and absorption band. In this region, the energy emitted during de-excitation matches to the energy required for excitation, and hence in this region, in the shadowed region, the resonance absorption takes place. Here the terms involved, ET is transition energy, ET minus ER is the energy of the emitted gamma ray, and ET plus EKE is the energy of absorbed gamma ray. Since the line width of gamma ray is very narrow, it is possible to measure very small changes in the nuclear energy levels. Please understand it again. The line width of gamma ray is very small, and it is possible to measure very small changes in nuclear energy levels. It helps to observe the hyperfine interaction. Such as the effect of extranuclear electrons on the nuclear energy levels. The extranuclear electrons, the electrons surrounding the nucleus, affect the nuclear energy levels, and it can be studied with the help of Mosswire spectroscopy. Thus, Mosswire effect is an important tool, and in fact, it is the only tool to study the interaction of the nucleus with the surrounding electrons. Therefore, Mosswire spectroscopy is used to study the interaction between the nucleus and the surrounding electrons, and it is the most important tool for this study. Thank you for watching the video with concentration. We will meet again in another video.